Okay, we're going to come back to our top story. The Prime Minister has been in Gujarat in more than 24 hours, but he led the Somnath Swabhiman Parv, marking 1,000 years since the first attack on the historic temple in 1026. Now, as a part of the celebrations, he headed the Shaurya Yatra. Standing before the temple, the Prime Minister spoke of Somnath as a symbol of India's enduring faith, courage, civilisational pride. He took a potshot at the former Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, who said, according to, I quote him, "Try to distort history, forgot the efforts of Sardar Patel and others who restored the temple after independence." Today was a celebration of devotion and eternal spirit of Somnath, a tribute to a 1,000-year legacy of sacrifice and resilience. So if Somnath stands for standing up and resilient, then the accusation on the Congress party from the Prime Minister is that they compromised on the pride because they had a prejudice towards Indian culture as well as religion. It was a reminder from the PM on the Congress's track record on the Somnath Temple, how there was a clear attempt to play down the significance. No restoration was taking place. Congress party was not protecting the temple against any outside intrusions. As the nation celebrates 1,000 years since it was first attacked by Muhammad Ghazni, the Somnath Temple has finally got its rightful place in the cultural ethos of the country. It's a pattern of prejudice, a blot on the celebration of this pride. That's the question I'm going to be asking later this evening.
सोमनाथ का इतिहास विनाश और पराजय का इतिहास नहीं है। ये इतिहास विजय और पुनर्निर्माण का है। वो मजहबी कट्टरपंथी नहीं समझ पाए, जिस सोमनाथ को वो नष्ट करना चाहते हैं, उनके नाम में ही सोम अर्थात अमृत जुड़ा हुआ है। नफरत, अत्याचार और आतंक का असली क्रूर इतिहास हमसे छिपाया गया।
So it's a moment of pride for all the Indians, and a tribute was paid to the Sabarmati temple, which has stood strong despite any attempt at breaking it down. That's a part of India's resilience and culture. But the Prime Minister, as we mentioned, has taken potshots at Jawaharlal Nehru, accused the Congress party of so indulging in prejudice and appeasement policy that it has hurt the pride of India. Is that entirely correct? Well, joining me this evening is Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, Saral Patel, spokesperson of the Congress party. Many thanks to you, both of you, for joining me this evening. I'm going to come to Saral Patel first. Saral, would you accept what the Prime Minister has had to say? Because I did see an extended release coming in from the Congress party, quoting Romila Thapar to say it's yet another case of distortion of history by the BJP.
Pallavi, so first thing first, let's get our facts straight. Irrespective of what internal disagreements may have existed about the procedure, the truth remains that every single person who rebuilt the Somnath Temple was from the Congress party, be it Sardar Patel, K.M. Munshi, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Mahatma Gandhi or Nehru. So all of them were Congressis, and the BJP and Sangh Parivar, who did not even lift the finger in the restoration of this temple, today are claiming moral ownership of this temple. So this is quite funny, number one. Number two, as far as, what Prime Minister said about, restoring the pride and lost glory and all of that, I would like to quote Padma Shri Mr. K.K. Mohammed Khan, who was the former director of ASI and who was very instrumental in the Ayodhya case as well, who has said that, it was the previous government who did more for the restoration of temples and our historic monuments than the current government, which claims to be Hindutva-vadi. So the BJP's politics, BJP's Hindutva is not a spiritual Hindutva; it's a political Hindutva. It is when they want to get votes, they are quite Hindu about it. But when it comes to restoring the temple and doing the groundwork, they are nowhere to be seen. So this false claim, the false narrative that has been mounted by the BJP for last 2-3 days falls flat completely on the basis of the historical records and historical facts.
Okay. Sanju Verma, what would you want to say to Saral today?
Pallavi, thank you for having me over. I'll just say this. There's this letter dated 2nd March 1951 written by Pandit Nehru to the then President Rajendra Prasad. And I think, your audience can see for itself, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho jayega. Let me just read ad verbatim from that letter in 10 seconds. I confess, Rajendra Babu, I do not like the idea of your associating yourself with a spectacular opening of the Somnath Temple, blah, blah, blah. And then he says, the inauguration of the Somnath Temple reeks of Hindu revivalism, and I would urge you not to associate yourself with this inauguration at this point in time. And let me tell you, this was not an isolated case. Beat Pandit Nehru's letter to Netaji Bose in 1937 very categorically says, do not, quote from the other 4 stanzas of Vande Mataram because they have references to Ma Durga. Or for that matter, Nehru's letter to Govind Vallabh Pant, the then Chief Minister of United Provinces, which is now modern-day Uttar Pradesh, clearly telling him, please remove the idols of Lord Rama from the site of Ram Janmabhoomi. Why am I quoting these instances, Pallavi, is to tell you that prior to 2014, whether somebody likes it or not, whether the Darbari ecosystem agrees to it or not, whether leftist historians like Romila Thapad will agree to this or not, the hard truth is this. Prior to 2014, to flaunt your Janeu, to flaunt your Vibhuti on top of your forehead, to flaunt your Kalava, to flaunt your Rudraksh Mala, to celebrate a Kavar Yatra or Ram Navami or Diwali or Holi or Raksha Bandhan with pomp and gaiety, you would be termed communal. Today, I'm so glad I have a Prime Minister in Narendra Modi who is willing to wear his Hindu identity proudly on his sleeves without being apologetic about it. And let me tell something else to the Congress party. Today, they have the audacity to appropriate Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's legacy. We all know that Sardar Patel started the reconstruction of the Somnath Temple somewhere between 1947 and 1948. He died in 1950. But, after 2018, Pallavi, when at Kevadia in Gujarat, that statue of Sardar Patel was inaugurated with huge fanfare. The Darbari ecosystem, including Rahul Gandhi or inke jitne bhi charan chumbak hai, they said, what was the need to spend 3,000 crores on building a statue of Sardar Patel? It was just not needed. We could have built a hospital, a dispensary, a school or a college. और आज यहाँ बैठकर इनके प्रवक्ता टीवी डिबेट पर पटेल और नेहरू, they're trying to draw false equivalence between the two. Nehru was a petty man, let's face it. Nehru was a small man. Patel was not.
And I wouldn't want to use these kind of words. After all, he's the first and Prime Minister of independent India. We can have your political differences, but let's follow that Maryada. But, sir, I really want to take on this, that I still remember that press conference of the Congress party where Rahul Gandhi was declared as a Janeu-dhari Shiv Bhakt. You did it for elections, no? So there's no denying the fact about that. Second, you decided to skip the Ram Mandir's Pran Pratishtha on the grounds it was a government event. Same is being said about the Somnath Temple, Udit Raj. I mean, he says these things and the Congress party distances itself. But sir, then in that sense, don't you think you're offering it on a platter to the BJP if they're going to accuse you of, having a prejudice against India's pride? And in this case, it is the Somnath Temple.
Pallavi, before I answer your question, and thank you that you called out the kind of language, petty language that BJP spokesperson was using. So first of all, I would like to counter what my friend said, that before 2014, it was not, it was shameful to wear a kalava or wear a tika or wear a janoy. So, I mean, she has agreed that, prior to 2014, she did not feel Hindu enough. And that was never the case with me. I was always a proud Hindu since the day I was born. And, I always flaunted my kalava or my tika, and I did not feel ashamed about it. So this exposes the BJP's politics also to a great extent, that, it is only fashionable for them to become Hindu post 2014. So she ended up exposing herself, number one. Number two, Sardar Patel was a great man, and the one of the greatest things he did in his lifetime was banning RSS for the murder of Mahatma Gandhi ji. So I'm sure the BJP spokesperson will also agree with the one of the greatest decision that he took in his lifetime, banning the RSS. And I as a Congress person do say that it was a mistake on the part of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, who was the prime minister then, to take off that ban from the RSS. I hope my friend Sanju Verma will also agree with me that Sardar Patel was great, and this great decision of his was overturned by Pandit Nehru ji. So I hope she agrees.
Pallavi?
Number three, when it comes to the Hindu pride,
yeah, go ahead.
when it comes to Hindu pride, BJP talks about Hinduism and Hindu pride only during elections. Prime Minister is in Gujarat today. I am from Gujarat. All the major temples on the route of Prime Minister and German Prime Minister have been covered by the hoardings of PM Narendra Modi. Why? Because they do not want those roadside temples and mandirs to be seen by German Prime Minister. Is this not a attack on Hinduism? Is this not a disrespect to the temples? I can show you those pictures on air. So this is their Hindutva, that they do not, for elections they are a proud Hindu, but when Prime Minister is visiting, they will cover the temples of Hindu temples with the hoardings of Prime Minister. Is Prime Minister bigger than the temples of Hinduism?
I kind of disagree with you on that, Sarah, but I'll come back to that later. Yes, Sanju, come on.
Thank you. I have a lot of respect for Pallavi. If she thinks that when I called Pandit Nehru a small man or a mediocre man, she said, she doesn't agree to it, that's fine. But I will say what I need to say.
I can't stop you. But
can I please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I please? Yes. I will say what I need to say, and I think I have not abused Pandit Nehru, and I have been very decent. Let's talk about Rahul Gandhi, who ahead of Lok Sabha 2024 said, ये जो नरेंद्र मोदी है ना, जब ये 2024 का चुनाव हार जाएगा ना, भारत की युवा सड़कों पर आकर नरेंद्र मोदी की पिटाई करेगी. This is the language of Rahul Gandhi. So don't teach me integrity and ethics. You need to teach, using decent vocabulary to your boss Rahul Gandhi. But be that as it may, let's stick to the topic of the debate. Since RSS was brought into the entire equation, while I did not want to deviate, very quickly in 2 seconds. Letter dated 20th May 1980. Indira Gandhi writes to Pandit Bakle, the secretary of the RSS. She says, Veer Savarkar's daring defense of the British government has its own importance in the annals of our freedom movement. I wish success to the plans to celebrate the birth centenary of this remarkable son of India. So none other than your boss Rahul Gandhi's grandmother Indira Gandhi endorsed Veer Savarkar and indirectly RSS. So stop abusing the RSS. So just focus on the moot point, Pallavi. Let's be very clear. It is thanks to a man called Narendra Modi that today we have the Dharma Dhwaja, which is flying high atop the Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir. It is thanks to Prime Minister Narendra Modi that you have the renovated Kashi Vishwanath corridor and the Ujjain Mahakal corridor. And it is thanks to Prime Minister Modi that today we see Prime Minister Modi in his capacity as the chairman of the Somnath Trust proudly participating in the Shaurya Yatra, and then within few hours of that, MOUs worth 7 lakh crore are signed at the vibrant Gujarat summit. My limited point is this. Prime Minister Modi often says, Vikas bhi, Astha bhi, spiritual renaissance bhi, growth bhi. cultural renaissance bhi, development bhi, belief in our traditions bhi, and India becoming world's fourth largest economy bhi. So Prime Minister Modi has been able to amalgamate these two things so judiciously without compromising one at the altar of another, which neither Nehru, Indira, Rajiv, Manmohan, nobody could do, which he has done. And he's the only Prime Minister in post-independent India's history to have done so. And that man is Narendra Modi. And today I'm proud to be calling myself a practicing Hindu. I don't know, Pallavi, with offense to none, whether Rahul Gandhi is a closet Christian, a practicing Hindu, or just a Janeudhari Hindu when it comes to election.
Okay, now, sir, this is the point. I'm not going to go into this journey anymore with Rahul Gandhi. My point is, sir, this is a valid point. This is exactly what I was going to ask you. If today we saw pictures of the Prime Minister at the Somnath Temple in that sort of yatra, Shaurya Yatra, by afternoon we saw him addressing the vibrant Gujarat summit plus metro, flagging off a new metro station. So he's clear-cut sending out a message that as the Prime Minister of the country, I wear my religion very proudly. I cater to the astha of the people of India. But at the same time, I'm also going to deliver on my development promise. So managing the two of them, do you think that's the messaging which also comes in? So you have that pride also angle coming in here?
So Pallavi, quickly, 2 points. It is that every single Prime Minister since independence have proudly worn their religion on their sleeves, and yet they have achieved the great, all the prime ministers have taken India to the greater height. Is my friend from the BJP, Sanju Verma ji, saying that Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee did not proudly wear his religion on his sleeves, or the Prime Minister supported by them, Mr. VP Singh, did not wear his religion proudly on his sleeves? They all did proudly. They were Hindus, but above all, they were Indians first. And despite, whatever their religion may be, they worked for the welfare of all Indians. And that was the case with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. That was the case with Indira Gandhi ji, Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, Rajiv Gandhi ji, and Manmohan Singh ji as well. He proudly donned his turban wherever he went. So all the Prime Minister proudly wore their religions on the street and yet took India to the greater heights and greater strides. So let us not claim that this is the first time in the history this has happened. Number one. Number two, my friend said that it is only today the proudly the Dharma Dhwaj is flying high on the Somnath Temple. Prime Minister was born in 1950. So even before he turned 18 years of age in 1968, the Dharma Dhwaj of our Dharma was proudly flying at the Somnath Temple. At the time, in the union government or the state government.
No, my point is different. Saral, the point over here is not that. Let all that be. My point is that developing the Kashi corridor and then, for example, a Somnath corridor, all of this has happened in recent times. And, this is not just about Astha. There are those ancillary industries also. Tourism gets a boost. Infrastructural facilities get a boost. There are people around these areas who also have livelihood. That's also something which could have been thought of by the Congress government. Na? They were in power also in Gujarat. They didn't.
Yes.
Right. Okay, now I have to ask this question to Sanju Verma because then she'll accuse me of being biased towards you. Sanju
but you will allow me 30 seconds.
Yeah, I will allow you 30 seconds after this.
Sorry.
Sanju, yes, go ahead, Sanju. You have to say something. Tell me.
Yeah. Pallavi, when have I ever accused you? Why are you jumping the gun?
Sanju, I'm not okay. Okay, fine.
Come on.
In a previous show, I've been accused by both the sides of being biased. So, मैं क्या बोलूं? Anyway, Sanju Verma, carry on. Carry on.
I have never accused you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go ahead.
Let me just say one thing very, very clearly. Last year in Varanasi, 7.4 crore tourists visited. Varanasi or Kashi is as old as civilization. Why is it that this happened only in 2025? Why did it not happen in 1953 under Nehru, or in 1971 under Indira, or in 1989 under Rajiv, or in 2008 under Manmohan Singh? Last year, I was surprised, Pallavi, to find out 23.82 crore people visited Ayodhya. Why has it happened only under Narendra Modi? Why not under any erstwhile Congress dispensation? Last year, 4.7 crore people visited Ujjain Mahakal corridor. Why did it happen only in 2025 under Narendra Modi? Why did it not happen under Nehru, Indira, Rajiv, so on and so forth? Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the only Prime Minister who has been able to marry the two, spiritual tourism with development, and that is not a mean achievement. But my limited point is this. For people who say Narendra Modi is not secular, because I keep hearing this, because Narendra Modi is a proud Hindu, he is secular. Narendra Modi has visited the Al-Hakim Mosque in Egypt. Narendra Modi visited the Sheikh Zayed Mosque in UAE. Narendra Modi visited the Grand Istiqlal Mosque in Indonesia. Narendra Modi visited the Sultan Qaboos Mosque in Oman. Narendra Modi visited the Omar Saifuddin Mosque in Brunei. This is the same Narendra Modi who even celebrated the legacy of Guru Tegh Bahadur from the ramparts of the Red Fort. He participated in the Pran Pratishtha ceremony of the Ram Janmabhoomi temple. And this is the same Prime Minister who always makes sure that through his emissaries, he sends a chadar to the Ajmer Dargah. So Narendra Modi or the BJP do not need to take lessons in secularism from Congress party. Siddharamaia's son, you know, what did he say? And what did Siddharamaiya say ahead of Lok Sabha 2024? बीजेपी वापस आ जाएगी तो हिंदू तालिबान का राज वापस आ जाएगा. And what did Dinesh Gundurao say? He said Hinduism is dirty. And what did Satish Jarkiholi say? He said Hindus are a menace to civilization. What did D.K. Shiv Kumar say? He said Chamundi Hill, which is very sacred for the Hindus, does not belong to Hindus. And what did Mallikarjun Kharge's son Priyanka Kharge say? He said, oh, if Udayanidhi Stalin has compared Sanatan Dharma to dengue and malaria, he's right. This is the hate for Hindus, which Congress has epitomized.
Okay. Now, Saral, apart from the 30 seconds that you're asking for, I also want to ask you this question. Up till now, no one from the Congress top-notch leaders have gone to a Ram Mandir, Pran Pratishtha. Now, will they go to a Somnath Mandir at least? It's not about, you know, this temple belongs to a BJP or the Prime Minister went there, so we will not go there. Ye to nahi hota na. After all, it's a question of your religious faith and astha. Saral, for that matter, will you go to the Somnath Temple now?
I do not need to prove, Pallavi, that, you know, by going now, I will be Hindu. I am from Gujarat. Every year I go to Somnath Temple at Mahashivratri. But I am not an election Hindu, you know. I do not go to my temple. I do not pray. And then I take 4 cameramen along with it to
camera, this is a little unfair. Rahul Gandhi bhi mandir gaye, so the camera went. Please, please.
So I do not take 4 cameramen along with me in my prayer house.
God.
It is between that connection and that relationship with Bhagwan is very personal relationship with that I have. And as far as, you know, the top leadership of Congress party visiting Somnath is concerned, here is the picture of Rahul Gandhi at Somnath Temple. If you allow me 15 seconds more, or if you can Google, your viewers can Google, there is a picture of Sonia Gandhi ji also praying at Somnath Temple. And I vividly remember that in 2011, when she visited Somnath Temple, the Gujarat CM made a huge hue and cry about it, that how is Sonia Gandhi praying at a Somnath Temple, and the BJP made a huge hue and cry.
Saral, I know I'm running out of time, so just quickly wrap up. I'm going to give the last word to Sanju. Yeah, Saral, please wrap up.
Number 2, why is it that, you know, at the start of my debate, I quoted Mr. K.K. Mohammed, who is a Padma Shri by the Padma Shri has been given by the BJP, who has said that it is the Congress previous governments who have done a lot more to
Sanju Verma. Okay, Saral, bas ho gaya. 30 seconds se zyada le liya. Sanju Verma, please, last word, quickly.
Yeah, there's a famous saying by Tennessee Williams. The only thing worse than a liar is a liar who is also a hypocrite. And I say that the Congress party is a party of hypocrites. And do not interject me, please. There is public documentation available that while visiting the Somnath Temple ahead of his visit, in the register, Rahul Gandhi was asked to specify which religion does he belong to. And Rahul Gandhi wrote in the register ही इज अ प्रैक्टिसिंग क्रिश्चियन। तो यहाँ पर बैठकर हिंदू बनने का ढकोसला कांग्रेसी ना
This is a complete lie. There was a register which was handed him by a protocol officer.
Okay. Now we are out of time. Now we are out of time. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Thank you very much, Saral. Thank you very much, Sanju Verma. We began well, we end in an argument, but thank you so much. No end to this confrontation between the BJP and the Congress party. Astha certainly is a topic of confrontation between the two. That's all we have time for. Good night. Thank you so much.